The 2026 FIFA World Cup has been live for 6 days, and already it has delivered more drama, more surprises, and more talking points than anyone dared to predict. We are covering the biggest stories so far in one video: USA's 4-1 win over Paraguay, Haaland's debut for Norway, Messi's record-equaling night, and France's dominance. But this is not just a highlights reel. This is everything decoded. On June 12, 2026, the United States validated Mauricio Pochettino's tactical blueprint at SoFi Stadium, proving that systematic organization, rather than individual moments, dictates tournament success. The 4-1 scoreline resulted from deliberate structural coordination. From kickoff, an aggressive high press squeezed Paraguay's build-up, reducing their overall possession to under 29%, and forcing defender Damian Bobadilla into an opening own goal in the 7th minute. When holding possession, the team transitioned from a nominal 3-4-3 into a fluid 4-2-3-1. This asymmetry allowed full backs to push high and wide, stretching Paraguay's defensive block and creating numerical overloads. Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie anchored the midfield pivot, establishing clean build-up angles that bypassed the opposition midfield. By repeatedly occupying the half spaces, Christian Pulisic and Malik Tillman pulled the Paraguayan defenders out of position, opening vertical passing channels. The back three executed 83 forward passes in the first half alone, constantly testing the opposition's defensive depth. Fowler and Balogun exploited these open channels, using sharp runs in behind the backline to secure a clinical first-half brace. Although a halftime knock to Pulisic forced conservative tactical adjustments, the structural foundation held, permitting Giovanni Reyna to strike a 4th goal in the final minutes. This performance provided clear evidence of a team establishing a disciplined, functional identity under Pochettino. This victory immediately alters the tactical calculus for Group D. Folarin Balogun's clinical brace and Giovanni Reyna's late finish served as precise execution points within Pochettino's wider framework. When the initial high press forced Paraguayan errors, the system opened vertical passing channels. More importantly, once the United States established the lead, the transition defense maintained its integrity, preventing counterattacks through disciplined spatial positioning. Second-half substitutions did not disrupt this mechanic. They preserved the overall attacking shape while managing the game's physical demands. Future opponents can no longer dismiss the United States as a collection of chaotic individuals. Opposing managers must now prepare for a highly organized, positionally fluid unit that balances aggressive pressing with deep structural security. In 90 minutes, Pochettino did not just secure 3 points, he forced the rest of the group to completely rewrite their defensive game plans. On June 16, 2026, at Gillette Stadium, Erling Haaland made his World Cup debut for Norway against Iraq. While his first-half brace in the 4-1 victory secured a historic return for his nation after 28 years, the tactical implications stretched far beyond the scoresheet. Norway's entire offensive architecture was engineered to maximize Haaland's physical profile, transforming how the Iraqi defensive line had to allocate its resources. From the opening whistle, Haaland's positioning dictated the depth of the opposition's block. His off-ball movement systematically dismantled defensive reference points. By constantly occupying the channel between the center backs, Haaland forced Iraq's backline to drop deep, which automatically opened the space in front of them for Martin Odegaard to orchestrate play. When Norway circulated possession wide, Haaland's vertical runs created clear crossing lanes. He isolated defenders in key aerial zones and used his frame for hold-up play, acting as a physical fulcrum. This enabled wingbacks like David Muller-Wolf to exploit the flanks, creating the sequence that led to Haaland's back post finish. Even outside of active shooting sequences, his preparation for vertical through balls meant defenders could never step up to press the Norwegian midfield. Iraq had to commit multiple markers to Haaland at all times, freeing up teammates like Leo Østigård during set-piece phases. This single striker gravity completely changes Norway's tactical ceiling. It forces opponents to abandon standard defensive structures, proving that Haaland's real value lies in how his mere presence reorganizes the entire pitch. On June 16th, 2026, at Kansas City Stadium, Argentina's 3-0 victory over Algeria established the tactical framework for their entire tournament campaign. At 38 years old, Lionel Messi secured his first-ever World Cup hat-trick, lifting his total to 16 goals and tying Miroslav Klose's all-time record. While this milestone dominated global headlines, the deeper tactical value lay in how his performance serves as currency for team momentum. Messi's utility under Lionel Scaloni has evolved from kinetic acceleration to systematic spatial manipulation. During possession phases, Messi occupied the right half space using deliberate, low-tempo positioning to alter Algeria's defensive shape. By drifting between the opposition's left back and left center back, he exerted a constant positional pull. Algerian defenders repeatedly shifted inward to track his shadow, which instantly opened up the wide channel for Argentina's overlapping fullbacks. This gravitational pull provides Argentina with a reliable method of game management. Because opponents refuse to leave him unmarked, Scaloni's side can lower the game's physical demands, circulating the ball through secure possession loops while Messi acts as a decoy. When the Algerian midfield committed to block passing lanes into his zone, it vacated central pockets for secondary runners to penetrate the penalty area. Even without the constant sprinting of his younger years, Messi's positional intelligence forces teams to compromise their defensive block, securing match control through intellectual gravity rather than physical exertion. While individual exploits capture the headlines, France's opening performance reveals the most sustainable tactical blueprint in the tournament. Didier Deschamps has engineered a highly compact game model that does not rely on emotional momentum or single-player dependency. In their 3-1 victory over Senegal at MetLife Stadium, France showed a terrifying ability to strangle games through structural discipline. When possession is lost, Deschamps' side executes an immediate, aggressive counterpress, compressing the space between the midfield and defensive lines. This rapid recovery phase ensures they dominate secondary ball recoveries, preventing the opposition from establishing any rhythm. Once the ball is secured, their transitions are lethal, converting defensive actions into vertical attacks in a matter of seconds. What makes this French machine so dangerous is its immunity to personnel changes. The squad's exceptional rotational depth allows Deschamps to swap key profiles without degrading the system's integrity. The tactical distances remain identical, the pressing triggers remain constant, and the physical output never wavers. They do not seek to entertain, they seek to suffocate. While other nations are still searching for their identity or over-relying on their stars, France has arrived with a cold, systematic method designed to be repeated all the way to the final. These opening 6 days have begun exposing a volatile tournament hierarchy where established national reputations mean less than functional tactical systems. With matches stretching from Mexico City's Azteca to Vancouver and Dallas to New Jersey, the sheer geographic scale of this 48-team field is already sorting contenders from pretenders. Because the expanded 104-match format accelerates how quickly narratives shift, teams can no longer rely on historic pedigree to survive. Instead, the tournament judges success through cold, objective standards. Sustained pressing intensity, high-value chance creation, defensive compactness, and the technical quality of possession sequences. Traditional heavyweights lacking structural identity immediately struggle against highly organized, aggressive opponents. This massive tri-national platform punishes physical fatigue and tactical rigidity, proving that modern international football belongs to managers who establish clear, repeatable playing patterns under pressure. As the 48-team era begins, historical prestige no longer guarantees survival. Success now belongs to the teams that adapt tactically in real time. Which system will ultimately decode this tournament? Drop your perspective below and subscribe for more analytical breakdown.